And we are live with another edition of Let's Talk Broncos with host Kurt Valenti. I believe it is episode 4, Mr. Valenti. How are you?
How am I? How is my mind? My mind right now after Sunday? Not good. Not good at all. Otherwise, I'm doing good, feeling good. Um, but not good after that Sunday performance, and we'll get into that. I'll tell you that.
We will definitely get into that. But before we do, let me just make a few announcements about some of our programming. This is actually the third installment this evening that we are bringing to our viewers. You were live with your K&K crew earlier this evening talking all things sports. We just finished a show where you and I were behind the scenes with our intern Gabby Higgins hosting her own show, All In on St. Mary's Sports, which was a great success. She had on the St. Mary's volleyball coach, who's off to a great start and doing great things with that program there. We had our show last night. Tomorrow night, you got your Wits and Wagers. We're going to bring you an All In on Kearney High School sports. We're going to bring you another installment of All In on Beckton sports. Friday night, we'll do our recap. We got a lot going on. It's exciting. It's really fun and exciting.
I mean, we have a life. I mean, like what's going on? But no. This is great. Again, Jen, you do a great job. Kenny, I got to give Kenny a lot of you didn't hear it because you were back to school, but Kenny did an unbelievable intro on K&K tonight, gave you a lot of props, went over all our shows, our sponsors. So, and what's to come on the channel. So want to give you a lot of props for that.
Nice. And Kenny's actually checking in saying lots of great shows and lots of great and great job by all of the interns. So yeah, Absolutely. They're killing it. You know what? It's a fun thing for them. I'm glad they're enjoying it. They're doing a really good job. So yeah. Tonight you're going to break down week 1, correct?
I might break down cost of week 1. And we're going to break down. I mean, listen, it's let's get to this. Let's just get to it. I've honestly, Jen, I've been calm, haven't I, about this in the past couple of days?
You have. And you know what? I think maybe because of some of the good has kind of because last year was so bad, and there were so many, you could see changes this week, and I think that, other things that you were unhappy about will be fixed. So I'm thinking maybe that's where the calm comes from.
I see a comment there, Jen. And
I'm sorry.
No, but that's okay because there's a little backstory. I don't know if you know.
All right. Well, let me throw it up here because we got Left Twix from YouTube. Oh, I do know where it's coming from, saying, "Where is Rex Ryan?"
Right, but Jen, I think the little backstory is I think by accident, Mr. Kirkpatrick, we were trying to block a spammer tonight on K&K, and I think he actually blocked our good friend Jody Moncrief from Jordan via Facebook. So I got to call Restream. I don't know how to unblock him. So I believe Left Twix is Mr. Moncrief.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad he got it in.
Kenny told me. So
I was thinking the backstory was just you want Rex Ryan as your defensive coordinator.
Listen, I did, and I'm going to tell you what, we're going to get into. This is where I'm going to get fired up. I love Sean Payton, love everything about him, but terrible hire. I wanted Rex, and we're going to get into that in a second.
All right. Well, let's do a little review of week 1.
Yeah, let's just get into this, Jen. Very disappointing. Watch the game. And we're going to start it off. I was jumping up and down. You came upstairs like a minute or two late to watch the game. Onside kick. It looked like we recovered it, but obviously that went to that went back to Vegas, and we didn't get it. But I have no problem with it from Sean Payton. I want an aggressive coach. I want somebody that's going to take chances. So I loved it. He saw something on film. We really should have had it. I mean, we're probably quarter of an inch away from getting it. We just touched it early. So I listen, I love it. The problem is Vance Joseph's defense goes on the field and away we go. And that's what makes me disappointing. It's just how we lost that game. We cannot get off the damn field. I mean, I watched the Jets on Monday and I watched the Cowboys on Sunday night. Those are aggressive defense. I saw Daniel Jones and Josh Allen running for their lives all night long. Why? Aggressive defense. Where was it? What all-out blitz did we send? What did we send? 3rd and 6 or whatever it was, 3rd and 7 with the game on the line. Where is the all-out blitz? I'm spying Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jimmy walks for 10 yards. What are we doing? What? It's just, it's the same garbage, and it's the same garbage reverting back to what happened with Vance Joseph. This defense lost this game. We gave them a 16-10 lead. Stop them, you win. They go down and score a touchdown. I don't want to hear, well, we shouldn't have scored 3. I don't care. You have a top defense. I don't care if we're up 11-10. Hold them, win the game at home. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Well, we should have scored this. I don't care what we scored. We gave you the lead. We gave you the lead at home. And the Raiders went right down the field and scored. That's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Then you had it again. Hold them. We'll get the ball back. Run the clock out. Where's Vance Joseph? What was that game plan? And I'm going to get back to this again. We have Patrick Surtain. I'm so sick of seeing Davante Adams being covered by Mathis, Bassie, whoever. Why? I saw in the game, okay, Davante. Listen, these coaches aren't stupid. They're not going to put Davante Adams outside on Surtain. They're going to move him into the slot. Why? 1 or 2 times we can move Surtain into the slot to cover him. Why can't we always do it? You know who they're going to go to, right? When the game's on the line, 3rd down, they're going to go to Davante Adams. Why is he not covering him? It makes me, honestly, I've been calm all day. It just makes me, my mind boggle what this guy Vance Joseph's doing. I saw no pressure. None.
Kurt, let me get a few comments in here. We have Jody Moncrief. Yes, sir. Left Twix is him. Kenny said Jody knows they're working on trying to get him unblocked. Jody Moncrief is saying Rex Ryan plays Drew Sanders.
100%. We drafted this kid early. How's he not on the field?
He's also saying 0 sacks. Disgraceful.
Disgraceful.
And then we have a question from Kenny. But why was Sean Payton not aggressive after the onside kick?
Listen, Kenny's got a great
doesn't
point
work
there.
all the time. Believe me, I know as a Giants fan.
No, Kenny, listen, and I'm going to be honest. From hearing Payton's comments this week, I think we're going to see a more aggressive Payton as an offense. Again, he's one of, if not the best play callers in football. He's always been, and he has been he's a run first guy, but he with the Saints, he had a lot of big shots, and no Jerry Jeudy. I think it hurt. I think we're going to start seeing that, and I think he will be more aggressive. But don't get me started with this defense and Vance Joseph.
Well, let's move on. That's a great little segue to what you thought of Sean Payton's debut.
You know what, Jen? I loved it. I really did. I do not mind an aggressive coach. I think if you are not aggressive, you're not going to win in this league. Just like I'm saying about as a defensive coordinator. Can't just sit back. Okay, that's not how it works. And same thing with the coach. He came out. We sat there. I think it's the first time, if I'm not mistaken, I read this. This was the first time the Broncos in their opener in a season scored a touchdown on their first drive since Mike Shanahan coached the team.
We got Zoli checking in saying same old Broncos defense. He has a little poo emoji, the bed when it counts, but their offense went away from what was working in the first half and then does nothing the second half. Horrible loss.
Yeah, listen, but I agree with Zoli, and we're going to get into defense again, but I thought Sean Payton's game plan, he did what he kind of told us what we're going to do. We are going to be a run first team. Russ again to me looked phenomenal.
Well, we got Jody Moncrief saying 3 throws 15 yards or deeper, sick.
Yes. Yep. I agree, Jody. I agree. But I thought Russ looked, I'm going to say pretty good, mobile, throwing strikes in the end zone. Listen, I mean, Philip Dorsett, you don't know where you are on a sideline? Like, you put that game away. It's a touchdown. Come on, that's the stuff that just drives me crazy because, the little things, NFL football games are, again, what is it? 3 and 4 point games. Every game is going to two plays matter. We don't make those plays. But overall, I'm happy with Sean Payton. And I love that he's our head coach. I have 1,000% confidence in him. Okay. He will get this offense. When you look at it, I think we had 8 possessions in this game, if I'm mistaken. I want to say 8 possessions. That's it. I mean, we scored on what? 3 of them, 4 of them, didn't we? Right? We scored 2 touchdowns. I mean, we'll get into the kicking disaster too, but the offense, for the most part, moved the ball. We got to finish in the red zone. But overall, with Sean Payton, the one thing I didn't like, and again, defensive side of the ball, the personal fouls. We have a 3rd down. We hold them. Kareem Jackson, late hit, 1st down. Frank Clark jumping off sides. That's the stuff I don't like. But offense, we didn't see play clocks going down. We didn't see, 82 holds, 82 false starts. So I'm happy with it. I want to see a big improvement from them, a little more explosive on the offensive side. But overall, Jen, happy with Sean Payton.
All right, we got a couple more comments. I think Jody was saying that there were maybe 6 possessions, and he's also saying 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and a missed field goal. And we have Zoli.
I'm sorry, Jen. He's right. 6 possessions. That's all we had. So we're moving the ball. Our problem, again, we couldn't get off the field.
Let me get these comments in here too. Zoli checking in again saying, but only scoring 16 isn't going to cut it, Kurt. They need to put up more points in the West. Short passes were working early. When they just run the second half, Raiders had all the answers to it. I think Peyton gets better, but bad loss. And then we have Matt Staffiero checking in saying, what's up, Kurt? Broncos average 2.7 scoring drives per game after week 1. Not thrilled with the team performance, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt and Zoli, thank you guys. And I agree with both of them. I'm not thrilled with it either. We have to be better. But, when you look at it and you say, hey, we only scored 16 points, right? I think we also have to look like we had 6 possessions, right? We had 6 possessions is because we couldn't get off the field. Add 3 or more. I think the average is 12 possessions for a game. I think they said it was like 11 or 12 possessions. You score 2 more times, you win that game. I mean, the Raiders really didn't stop us. They really didn't. It's just, we just 3rd and 6, they get 7. 3rd and 8, they get 10. It just drives me up a wall. We got to get off the field.
Well, maybe we'll roll right into then, because I think you're kind of already there. We're going to do the good and the bad, but you wanted to start with the bad.
Yeah, listen, couple things with the bad. Number 1, just defense getting off the field. It's disheartening when you're watching it and, stop them on 1st down. And listen, the defense did a great job on Josh Jacobs, right? Did a great job on there. But now you get to 3rd down. You watch that Jet game Monday and you watch that Cowboy game on Sunday night, and you got that whoever, either the Jets or Cowboys, got the Giants or Buffalo in a 3rd and 7, they're not getting a 1st down because they're sending the house. Here we go. Quarterback's got to throw it quick. Boom, tackle them, get off the field. Where's our pass rush? I mean, is Randy Gregory going to do anything? Zach Allen, all this, where were they? But where's the blitzes? Where's hey, we can't get there with 4. I got to send 5 and I got to send 6. I can tell you right now, if Rex Ryan was there, he ain't sending 5 guys. I'm telling you, here comes 7 at him because that's what you do. And watch how the Jets play. Send 7, short tackle, get off the field. We're sending 4. We can't get to anybody. And our secondary, besides Sertan, is getting torched. So right there should be, change that game plan, Vance. We're sending them. Lock up Sertan on Adams. And you know what? Hey, I'm going to take my chance, but I'm bringing the heat. Garoppolo's sitting back there like, he's got Alabama's line against Middle Tennessee State. Where's the pressure? And switch it up. I want to see 6. I want to see 7. He does nothing different. So number 1, the bad, getting off the field.
All right, let me get a couple comments in here, Kurt. We got a couple, and I want to make sure we get them. Matt Staffiero saying the Broncos have to improve all around to be contenders. I think the thing to keep in mind is that this is the Raiders. Sustained drives without points won't beat the powerhouses in the NFL. Before you comment, let me get some other ones in here. We got Kenny checking in and saying make the extra point and 50-yard field goal miss. Can't get mad about that, but extra point, there's no excuse.
Absolutely.
Right? We got Jody Moncrief saying Randy Gregory talked more than tackled.
Yeah.
And then here's a Vance Joseph comment from Matt Staffiero. Vance Joseph, we're the third aggressive team in terms of the blitz, had the worst pressure rate of week 1.
But, like, I understand that by Stapp, but again, like, I'm a big eye test guy. And I just watched that Jet defense on Monday night. And I mean, they basically were just like, we're coming after Josh. I didn't have that feeling at all. I never had that feeling. Like Jody's saying, you got Sanders, who can be, again, all I heard was he's a poor man, Micah Parsons. And listen, I don't want to go into that, but I mean, he's that kind of athlete. Nick Benito, where are these guys? Where are they? And can we please spy you don't have Lamar Jackson running. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, and he just has lane after lane. That last third down, it should have been an all-out blitz, somebody spying on the quarterback. Nobody. Listen, we are not going to win with this guy as our defensive coordinator. Number 2, Jen, number 2. And I'm going to start with Mathis. I'm giving him 1 game. I am so sick of having the best corner in the league and having going to the other side. And again, whether it's Devontae Adams, Myers, I mean, Renfro didn't do anything, but can we please cover somebody? Can we cover somebody as a second corner? And again, this is where I get back on Vance Joseph. Devontae Adams, after that first quarter, it should have been, you follow him. I know Surtain can play the slot because I saw him do it on Sunday. Why is it only certain? So when Devontae Adams is in the slot, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to say, oh, I got Bassie on him. Okay, bing, 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 first down. No, put Surtain on Devontae Adams. Done. Now, if you beat us all day with Myers and that group, I tip my cap to you. But we got to get better with other corners. I mean, let's be real. I wouldn't throw the ball once at Patrick Surtain. Why? What has Mathis done? Big game for Mathis. I'm telling you right now. Riley Moss, we need this kid. I know he's young. He's a rookie. But I'm telling you, I hope he gets back because I cannot watch this anymore. He cannot be targeted, and just constantly making plays offensively on him. That has to get better. Number 2. Number 3, the kicking. And this is on Sean Payton. He wanted Will Lutz. Miss an extra point, and then he kicks a 50-something yarder, in Colorado. When we were like, what were we on? Probably the 30, 37-yard line. We didn't go for it. I mean, that's 4 points. You lost a 1-point game. That can't happen. That cannot, especially since we traded. There was a stat today that said in the last, I don't know how many years, like 3 or 4 guys got drafted. We traded a draft pick for this guy. Basically, it's like you drafted a kicker. And this is what we got week 1. He better bounce back too. So defense off the field, kicking, and our second corner, the bad.
Jody Moncrief checking in and saying that Will Lutz has been bad the last 4 years.
Hey, you know what? That's Peyton's boy. You want to ride and die with him? Hey, he said he'll be better. We're gonna see. Where you can't have it. Again, he's another one. He can't be missing kicks this weekend.
All right, you ready to move on to the good?
I am. Let's read Kenny's real quick, Jen, please.
I didn't see that one there. Kurt, all due respect. The one about the defense?
Yes.
All right, he's mentioning that they did stop Josh Jacobs, right? With all due, Jimmy G had 200 yards. And the blame for me is 20 total rushes for the Broncos and whoever is calling the plays in Denver, Sean Payton, he's saying.
Yeah, I just disagree. Again, could they have been a little more aggressive? Sure. And, we'll get that with Jerry Jeudy hopefully back and stuff like that. But, when you only have 6 possessions, how do you only have 6 possessions, Kenny? Why? Just the long drives. We can't get off the field. The third downs. It's just that cannot happen. You are not going to win games like that. You're not going to score on every drive on offense, but you can't give up points or 12 and 14. You can't do that. So I'm sorry. I'm putting it on this defense.
All All right, you ready to move on to the good?
I am.
All right.
Tell me when you're ready to roll. Okay.
I'm ready.
The good. Number one, Russ. I loved it. Russ is washed. He's this. Come on. Listen, I told 1,000 people, and there'll be another 1,000. Don't even go by what you watched last year. Don't even do it. It's just you're not getting anything out of last year. Last year was basically putting like I don't know what is it, Felix and Oscar with the just throwing them together and seeing what happens. And again, by the way, now Aaron Rodgers, and prayers up to him, but he won't be calling the offense in New York. We're gonna see what Nathaniel Hackett's gonna do. So I told Jen, I told Kenny the other day, if I'm the Jet coach, I'm telling him, I will tell you when to call a pass play. I don't want you and Zach Wilson doing anything together, anything, and ruining this team. But number one, Russ, phenomenal. I think he was 17 for 24. I do want more shots. Again, he's the best deep ball thrower in the league. I think we will see that. Again, first time with the offense, running game, but he looked decisive. Looked nothing like he did last year. I have zero worries about Russell Wilson. He's fine going forward. We saw that Sunday. That's number one.
While you're on the offense, on a positive for the offense, so I do want to get Kenny's comment. I threw it up before. He said, Kurt, you said you wanted to make sure you established the run. I listened to all your shows, my friend. 20 rushes is not establishing.
Yeah, you know what? He's right. He is right, especially in that goal line. That last series we settled for the one we settled for 3. I want to say we got like 5 or 6 yards on first. I think we hit Troutman for like 6. So 2nd and 4. You're right, Kenny. You don't get a carry there. You go pass, kick the field goal, go up 6 instead of getting it to 10 and putting them away. So I do agree with Kenny on that. Second, the good. I guess I'm going to comment. I'm going to change it. I'm going to put Javonte Williams. How this guy has come back is just miraculous. Such a bad injury. There were rumors he may not play this year, come back late. I mean, this guy was ready for game 1. Hey, they're going to share. I'm not going to say share the load, but Pirine is going to get some playing time. But listen, he was sure damn Denver's number 1 back. Got targets, got carries. He looked right, Jen. You watched him play. Didn't he look like the old Javonte?
Yeah.
Bouncing off people, running hard, not worrying about it. So the good Javonte Williams is back. And just like Jody's saying, no knee brace, which I think you were the first one, I think, when we were watching, Jen said,
I did. I said the same thing. I said, wow, he's not wearing a knee brace for an ACL. I was surprised. Yeah.
And number 3 on the good, Jen, Pat Surtain. I know he got called on an interference call, but when he was covering Devontae Adams, I think he had 2 catches. Why? It's mind-boggling why he just is like, they don't have him shadow like number 1 receivers. I don't understand why. It's not like he can't play the slot. He played the slot on Sunday. So line him up. Hey, anywhere Devontae goes, you go, but we just won't do it. But this guy, Surtain, man, he's the best in the league. He really is. And we got to get him help on the other side. You get help on the other side, you're going to be back to a dominant defense. You have a weak number 2 and number 3. That's all they're going to pick on.
We have Kenny saying that that's his number 1 as well, and he give him a few more carries each week. And Jody Moncrief saying, where was Michael Burton down there?
Yeah.
And Kenny also saying, question for you, Kurt. As good as Surtain was, are there any concerns about your number 2 cornerback?
Oh, my God. Tons. Mathis last year, don't get me wrong, as a young rookie, totally got picked on that game on that Thursday night versus the Colts. Got a little better, but you can't just be a little better. I mean, when you have a corner like Surtain, again, smart teams and smart coordinators are going to totally stay away from him. So they're going to target, okay, you're number 2. That number 2 might be the second most important player on your team because that's where they're going to go. Mathis can't have a performance like Jacoby Myers looked like Randy Moss with the Patriots. Come on. He's a guy New England has no receivers. They just let him go. And all of a sudden he's running around running around in Colorado like he's Randy Moss. We can't have that. You're going to see 2, 3 good receivers this week. You got to face Miami next week. Who's he going to cover? He can't cover Jacoby Myers. I got a major concern with that. I hope Riley Moss gets back because this guy's not it.
I believe Jody Moncrief is answering as well, saying yes till Quan Williams comes back.
Yeah, one of the best slot corners in football, Quan Williams, with an injury. We need him back because the combination of Bassie and Mathis right now, not getting it done.
All right, you ready to move on to turning points?
Yeah, turning points. I listen. I have a bunch, but one is the missed field goal. Again, you're rolling in that first half. Your offense is moving. I want to say it was like a 3rd and 4, maybe 3rd and 6. We, inside the 40, we opt for a field goal. You just leave points on the board. Obviously, I could say the extra point, but I'm going to say that field goal because that was another good drive. You get the, you get the bet, you get the 3 points. It's a boost. Otherwise, now you had a nice drive. You get nothing out of it. Number 2, again, all these third downs, man. All these third downs. The 4th down, the 4th and 1. Where, okay, listen, I understand that it's a crazy play, but again, Devontae, we don't make those plays. You had him off the field, get him off the field, get your offense back the ball. Number 3 was the last drive, not the last drive, but the drive Kenny's talking about. We're up 3, get the ball. It's 2nd and 6, no runs. We go pass. And instead of getting it to 10, which you get it to 10, you knock them out. You get it to 6. Here we go. They get a long drive. They beat you 17-16. When you have your chance to go up 10, you got to go up 10. You can't, you can't play around, score the touchdown, put it out sight. Now you could be aggressive. They're going to have to throw the ball. You get your turnover, you get your stop, and the game's over. So those are my 3 turning points.
All right. And your final thoughts on week 1?
My final thoughts are I'm very disappointed, Jen. Very disappointed. So much optimism coming into this team with Sean Payton. Again, I understand offenses take more time, right? And see, that's the thing that even drives me nuts more. I understand that offense is going to be, it's going to, take you a week or 2, especially with a new head coach and stuff like that. But where is your, they didn't look like that with the Raiders. Where's your defense? It just drives, I keep the Denver defense. If I watched the Denver defense and I knew nothing about it, if I watched the Cowboys, the Jets, and the Broncos, and somebody said, hey, these are 3 of the better, I would say, what are you smoking? This team in orange isn't the Jets or the Cowboys. I didn't see that. I didn't see that running to the ball, the aggressiveness, making Daniel Jones and Josh Allen running left and right for their lives. I didn't see that with Jimmy Garoppolo. Where? I'm going to say this is a top defense? No way. Absolutely not. And again, who runs the defense? That's what I have the problem with. I saw this guy in Miami. I saw this guy in Arizona, and we saw him firsthand in Denver. I wanted Rex Ryan because Rex Ryan isn't going to play games. He's going to blitz, and he'll come up with creative schemes. I don't want to just blitz here and Mathis is leaving guys wide open. Just very disgusted about it. This defense better do a 360 this week to get my confidence back on Saturday.
All right, before we look ahead to week 2, we have a question from Jody Moncrief. Is Stern's injury big or not really because we have Jackson?
Yeah, I know Stearns was going to have a bigger role this year, but I don't know. Listen, if it's an injury that, if you gave me a bunch of people and he's one of them, I guess he would be the one I would sign up for and say, okay, I can't have Caden Stearns. Again, nice young player. Again, he was going to step up. But listen, Jackson was brought back for a reason. Jackson can't do what he did last game. Late hit, whatever, leading with his helmet. You got to be a leader. You got to be smart. We had 3, defensive penalties, 15 yards and stuff like that. We got to be smarter.
The
But
penalties were brutal and at inopportune times.
absolutely.
Let me get Zoli. I like Zoli's summation here. Awful loss and thought it was a must win for Denver. But if they beat Washington and now have a newfound hope versus the Jets, we can maybe get by now. We lose this week and the season is over. Week
Listen,
2.
I don't want to say the word over, but I'm pretty damn close because you got a nice schedule. You got the Raiders and Commanders at home, right? You're at home, new coaching staff, the crowd's behind you. You can't lose this game. And I'm just going to say, I watched the Arizona Cardinals, who Kenny's team is playing them. Listen, they want to tank. They're basically doing the whole old Greg Popovich. Anytime you start Joshua Dobbs, you're tanking. Okay. And, I saw the Redskins struggle with them. So the Redskins aren't world beaters. Sam Howell is not a top quarterback in this league at all. So if we can't contain this Washington offense, who I believe scored, was it 20 points against Arizona? 20 at home against a team tanking? I'm sorry. This game defensively for Denver, we should just be dominant. You're at home. You're playing a young, I'm going to consider him a rookie quarterback on the road in your building. You just lost. Come on. There better not be 10 play drives, 12 play drives. It better not happen this week. Vance Joseph better light him up. I don't care. And while you're lighting him up, you better have a plan for that back four, especially Bassie and Mathis. You better have a better plan than you did last week.
Zoli's saying neither is Jimmy G, but Denver made him look that way. All right, you put week 1 behind you now. You got it out of your system. Let's look ahead to your matchup for week 2.
Yeah. So again, Washington Commanders 1-0, beat the Arizona Cardinals at home in a rainstorm, traveling to Denver. And listen, the Commanders are a decent team. I'm not a big fan of Sam Howard. I never was. He's a younger quarterback. But listen, they got nothing else. They went with the vets last year, did nothing. But listen, again, offensive weapons. You got Gibson, you got Robinson in the back. You got McLaurin, you got Dotson. That's a nice 1-2 punch. Defensively, again, I don't know if Chase Young's going to play, but you got Payne, you got Allen, you got Sweat. They're built on defense too. They're built on a lower scoring defense. They want to keep the games low, let their defense win the games. So, we're not going to have, I'd be shocked if we're having a 48-44 shootout, but, this team does have some weapons, but again, we have to get after this quarterback in our building, take away their run game and, come up with a plan where whoever's not guarded by Surtain, Dotson or McLaurin are just run into our secondary.
Well, let's roll into your offensive keys for the game.
Yeah, number one, most important, Kenny said it. Zoli said it. I don't know if Stephanie said it, but and he just said it. And this is where Jerry Jeudy will help. We need more big plays, right? Again, we had a big play versus the Raiders, but Philip Dorsett decided I'm going to step out of bounds before I catch the ball. So instead of maybe a touchdown or a 40-yard play, we get an incomplete pass. That's stuff that you just can't happen. It's losing football. We can't have it. Number one, more bigger plays. I think we will see it. I think Sean Payton kind of knows it, and he was saying it this week. You will see bigger plays. You will see more shots. And again, we didn't have our tight end Dulcich, which we're not going to have. Troutman, nice little tight end, but he ain't scaring anybody in the pass game. And you don't have your best receiver, deep threat Jerry Jeudy. So I think that will help. We'll see I think we're going to get more shots.
Well, you got Jody Moncrief saying that Jeudy will be back. Kenny making a few comments that he thinks he sees a few more gray hairs on you than last week.
Probably.
And then he's saying he may have to shave his head because of he's going gray after that Giants week 1 loss.
Oh, not a good week for Kenny and I. Number two, and this is where it's exactly what Kenny was saying. Be aggressive. Don't settle for 3, right? We just can't go and say, especially when you're up like 3 points. And I think this is what Sean Payton regrets the most. You're up 3. You can't just be like, okay, we'll take the 3 up 6. Go get it to 10. If they got that game to 10 in that fourth quarter, that game's over. Because now you can't run the ball. You could just tee off on Garoppolo. And, and there's the mistake and the game's over. But in this game, you can't settle for 3. Okay, we'll you get inside the 20. I want your best plays. Get your best plays. Get 7. Get 7. That's what the mindset has to be. 7, 7, 7. I sound like the guy from something about Mary, Jen, right? But
7, 7, 11.
Yeah, 7-11. But yeah. But that's come on, you got to be more aggressive. Just don't settle for the field goal. Put up points, get the 7. I'm saying 7. I want the field goal, the touchdown, and the extra point. Get the 7. Give this defense a lead. And number 3, continue to run the ball with play action. I understand, we want deeper shots. That's fine. But you get your deeper shots off of play action. So again, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. You got Pirine, you got Javonte, and McLaughlin. Peyton also said, he only got him a couple snaps last week that he will. Listen, he's our home run hitter. He has to get a couple touches. But still run the ball. We want to be a run-first team. Set that identity, play action off of it. But the play action, that's when you take your shots.
All right, let's move into the defense keys for the game.
Defensive keys. Number 1, get off the field. I'm going to say it 100 times. You cannot give up third down after third down after third down after fourth down. You got to make stops. You make stops, you get better field position. You get stops, you get off the field. You're still playing in Colorado. You're in there for an 8-minute drive. You're going to be sucking wind. Okay? Get off the field. Number 1, win third down, get off the field, get your ball back to the offense. Number 2.
Let me before you get to your second one, we have Jody Moncrief saying that the Cards had 6 sacks. They better have the same. And he's saying pressure.
6. We're going to get 6. Did we even touch Garoppolo? I mean, I'll take, you know what? Good point. They had 6. Again, the tanking Cardinals had 6. You better get 6 this week. That's what I'm telling the Denver defense. You better get 6 if that defense got 6. Number 2, Jen, stop the run and make Sam Howell beat you. All right, again, second-year quarterback, but he's like a rookie. He didn't play much. Shut down Gibson and Robinson right out of the gate, just like you did Jacobs, and now let this kid beat you. You know where he's going to go. He's going to go wherever number 2 is not. Have a plan for it. Heat him up. Jody just said pressure. Let's get some exotic blitzes, Vance. Let's do something different. Let's do something to confuse this kid, right? Arizona confused them. Again, tanking Arizona. So I don't want to hear it. Come up with a plan. Get pressure on this kid. Force this kid to make turnovers.
That's what Zoli just said, the same thing. He said, I'll take 1 sack at this point. He said, but at least pressure Howell and make him make mistakes.
And my last key, Jen, and I said this week 1, and it was a total failure. Especially our number 2 corner, but our number 3 corner, they have to step up. Okay? You just cannot throw these guys out there and say, okay, McLaurin's going to be guarded by Surtain. I'm not going there. I'm going to attack this side. We can't have that. He's got to step up. You can't just, here's 8 yards, here's 12 yards. We can't do it. You're an NFL player now. You're not Patrick Surtain. I don't want you to be Patrick Surtain. I want you to be a number 2 corner in the NFL. Right now, he's not. Last week, he's not. He reverted back to that Colt game last year where the Colts were just attacking him left and right. We can't afford teams to attack him. Okay? And if he has a game like that, he's got to go. He's got to go. And somebody else has to step in because we cannot have it. You cannot have a weak, there's the weak link. That's that corner. You can't do it. I'm worried about this week. What's next week? You got Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Are you out of your mind? Don't even put him on the plane to Florida if he can't guard these guys with Sam Howell. And I'm not even trying to be like funny about this. We gotta come up with a solution. And if the solution is, well, that's who we got. You might be blitzing every play. We got to get pressure on this quarterback and help him out if that's our guy. But he's got to step up. We just cannot have weak links all around this, on one side of the field.
All right, let's get your prediction.
Again, my prediction, do I think we're the better team than the Commanders? Yes. We're home. We're more desperate. Should have won that game easily last week. We were the better team than the Raiders, 100%. I watched closely. I watched that Commander game for a couple reasons. But you know what I'm talking about, Jen? A couple reasons I had that game started.
I'm guessing it had to do with bets.
Maybe. But I mean, they didn't impress me. Versus Arizona again. I mean, it's no secret they want Caleb Williams. So, I mean, they're beating them in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, we can't beat this team at home, like against that quarterback, Sam Howell. We got problems if we don't, major problems. So, saying all that, Kenny's saying 17-16 Broncos win this week.
Let me get a couple comments in while you're pausing here. Kenny wants to know if Jerry Jeudy is back for sure.
Right now, it looks good. There's no 100%, but
and then we got Jody Moncrief saying the big key is to have to block their front seven. It's elite.
Yep.
You gave Kenny's prediction 17-16. Zoli is checking in with his prediction 24-17 Denver.
Okay, I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go Denver 27, Washington 17. I think we do hit a couple of the big plays. I think we continue our run game. I think our run game gets established. Here comes the play action off of it. I think Jerry Jeudy makes 3 or 4 big plays. Hopefully he is back. I think he will be back. And I think we see a little more downfield shots off of play action for us, a couple more big plays. And I think our defense will step up. Listen, our defense has to step up. Has to. I mean, you want to be considered a top defense. You're not going to do it this week against Sam Howell in your building. I mean, they have to. So I'm going to take Jen 27-17. Denver gets the win, first win in the Sean Payton era.
All right, Kenny modified his and has a 21-16 Broncos victory due to Jerry Jeudy being back.
Okay.
All right. Before we go for the evening, Mr. Valenti, any final thoughts that you want to share?
Again, final thoughts. I'm just checking. I got an alert. I just wanted to see something.
We got another. While you're doing that there, let me get up Jody Moncrief's off-topic comment.
He's saying
Auburn is in trouble.
You know what, Jen? I'm going to disagree with my boy Jody on this because
and Jody's prediction for the score is 24-13 Broncos.
You know why I'm going to say that, Jen? First off, I never even knew this, but last Saturday night, Auburn played at Cal. It was a 10:30 start. I didn't know that was the latest start ever for Auburn football. Did you know that?
You may have mentioned that to me.
Yeah, so that's just a fun fact. It's not easy to go play there, right? They were coming off, again, I'm not saying Cal's a superpower. They're nowhere near it. They're not really probably even a good team, but they were coming off a big week 1. Last year, they had a lot of close games. They had a lot of people back. You had to go into their building. That building was crazy in college football late at night. And Auburn's defense, how many turnovers did they create? That defense created turnovers. The defense on Sunday did nothing. But I'm happy right now. I think they play Samford this week, so they'll be 3-0. Then we start the slate. We got at Texas A&M, Georgia, I think LSU. Again, I'm not saying they're going to college football playoff this year. I don't believe it. I think we're a year or 2 away. But these are big wins for us. We got to get back. And again, what I want to do this year, I want a major upset, whether it's LSU, Georgia, Auburn. Win one of those games. And get ready for the next couple years because Hugh Freeze is bringing the boys in.
All right. And any more final thoughts before we sign off for the evening?
No, thank everyone for watching. Thank all the comments. Jen, thank you. I know you had back to school night. We did an all in on St. Mary's show, but I want to thank you. Thank everybody again. Thank you, Jen. And listen, yeah, there you go, Kenny. Yeah,
Yep. Is this a segue for an Auburn? Don't laugh. I'm
I
sure
gotta
they'll make.
find somebody to do it with
There's
me.
definitely been St. John's shows
Oh
for
yeah,
basketball.
oh yeah.
So
By the way,
yeah,
by the
he's
way,
saying an 11 p.m. start. Yeah,
by the way,
exactly.
I know you're called
15
Jenny.
minutes till the Auburn show.
Yeah. By the way, you're Jenny Hoops, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you this: the hoops that are going to be watched in this house, you just mentioned them. Rick Pitino, baby, he got another one last night. Another
Well, we,
four-star
we watch
recruit.
St. John's hoops anyway.
I know, but what I'm
It's
saying
gonna
is,
be up to notch.
listen, they're the real deal. So I'm excited to watch that. But listen, it's got to be better than last week. It's why you brought in Russell Wilson. It's why you brought in Sean Payton. It's got to be better than last week. And you know what? To me, it's on the defense. Win the game. The defense is supposed to carry this team. Defense carries the Jets. Defense carries the Cowboys. You know what, Broncos? Make the defense carry you. That's what you're supposed to be. So disappointing last week. It's over with. We got it out tonight. Let's move on now to Washington. Get win one. Get to 1-1. And away we go.
Let me get these closing comments before we sign off. We got Jody Moncrief saying the Knicks still aren't.
No.
Good.
I understand, Jen. And
Hold on. And Kenny saying that we're gonna paint one of the walls red.
Yeah. I like that.
No, you're right, Kenny. That's not going to happen because I'm not painting one red, and you're right. Kurt's not going to paint on his own. So
Yeah. Let me get this with Jody. And Jen, we can't argue with Jody right now because he's at the top of the mountain, right? When you're the Denver Nuggets, what can you say to him? Nothing. They're the champs. But I'm going to tell you this. I have never since the 90s, more excited for this Knick team. And all I'm going to say is, Jody Moncrief, go on Twitter and go look up what Bill Simmons just said. And I'm going to repeat this right now, Jen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He said in his podcast, and Mr. Kirkpatrick, open up your ears for this one. He guarantees by the end of this year, end of this basketball season or summer, the Knicks will have either Donovan Mitchell, Joel Embiid, or the Greek Freak. I'm saying we're going to get either Greek Freak or Embiid with Donovan Mitchell. But this team is exciting. This team is ready to go. And we're bringing in the 2 stars are coming. And when they come, that trophy from the Mile High City, it's coming to New York City, baby.
All right, let's end on a Denver. Good luck to the Denver Broncos this week. Kurt, great show. Thank you everyone for watching and commenting.